James Elder, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. With me, I've got none other than Dez Gargano. How are you, Kurt?
Hi, James. Respect, man. Thanks for this. Means a lot.
My pleasure, mate. It's been a little while. I've been meaning to get you on the channel for quite a while. You've got to be one of the most entertaining sort of fighters on the circuit at the moment. You know what I mean? Talk to me about what's been going on in the land of Curtis.
You've got to be in this game. Do you know what I mean? These kids are training. When I'm fighting, these kids are training for like 6 months, 4 months at a time. You know, they've got strength nutritionists. You know, they're coming to fight me, they're coming to kill me. And to be honest with you, I'm only 5'8", so I'm fighting these kids, they're coming down from 16 stone. Do you know what I mean? They're coming down to boiling down 2 to 3 stone to fight me. And me, you look at me and size me, I'm a middleweight really. Do you know what I mean? I struggle with my weight.
Will you get down to middleweight?
I will get down to middleweight.
I know I've seen your campaign to get you at middleweight. Do you think it's a realistic possibility that we can see you fighting at your natural weight rather than taking these fights at late notice on the road, etc.?
Yeah, well, we'll think about this. In December, I boxed at 14 stone. I weighed in 14 stone. I boxed a kid called Ratu. He's a pretty strong guy. He's 3-0, and 3 of his opponents pulled out with him that week. Curtis, please, we fight this kid. We'll pay you X amount of money. The MGM people in Scotland, Sam. I said, you know what? I'll take this fight, but the boxing board are on my case. You know, you don't want me fighting at the high weights, and I went the distance. You know, and then my last fight was at 12 stone 8. So there you go. The weight's coming down.
Last fight was quite competitive. I mean, you seem to enjoy trading, taking punishment, mixing it up on the inside and winding your opponent up as much as enjoying the occasion.
The weird thing is that I'm good at slowing these opponents down. They can't knock me out. I've had 4 stoppages on my record. Only one of them was a true stoppage. The other ones, no disrespect to the opponents, but I wasn't really bothered right now. I'm so proud of not being stopped. I haven't been stopped in over 17 fights. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair,
on the road as well. 17 fights on the road.
Yeah, and I've been in with the best kids, and you know, I've been in with the best kids at light heavyweight. I'm not even a light heavyweight. You know what I mean? But you got to look at my record, and I know it doesn't look good. But there's been a couple of them fights where I've won the fight. You know, my record should look a lot better than what it does, but it's hard on the road. Do you know what I mean?
Our IFL TV viewers, I'm sure some of them will know, you're the son of legendary journeyman Dez Gargano. Dez was once ranked, as I was reading, probably 7th or 8th in the country,
yeah, he was.
And over 122 fights.
Well, the thing is, with journeymen these days, they only either win 4 fights or 5 fights. And my dad had 123 and he won 32, and he used to think, Dad, you're bobbins, you. You know, when he was young, he used to think, God, you're not even, have you won? He said, Dad, have you won? I said, Dad, but it's weird because now I've lost him. It's like, I'm a journeyman now. And I remember when in 1993, I never used to have a door on my room, yeah? And my dad used to fight every week, used to wait on the chair, waiting for him. Dad, where are you? He used to come in, I went, Dad, you come in my room, woke me up at 2 in the morning, he went, Curtis, guess what? I boxed this kid tonight, he was flipping over the ropes, and he's going to be a world champion. You can't believe how really good he was. And that person was Prince Nazim. And Prince Nazim was a very close mate of my dad's. He loved my dad. I remember in 1999, my dad had a day off work and Prince Nazim was fighting Paul Ingle, who also was a world champion. My dad boxed him as well. And we met Prince Nazim at Granada Studios. And Prince Nazim, with his entourage, come straight to my dad. My dad had scruffy clothes on, you know. We didn't have money. This was 1998. I was a good amateur then, you know what I mean? I wanted to be a world champion, I had the dream. Do you know what I mean? And Prince Nazim went, Dez. My dad was a famous fisherman. Give us 2 tickets for the fight. And I remember my dad, we couldn't even afford a bottle of Coke or anything because my dad had all his fishing, his bills and everything, you know.
Was it quite interesting? Sorry for the call,
yeah, but no, it's all right. And it was just, you know, I'll never forget that. My dad always thought that. I thought it was rubbish or something, but when we lost him to cancer, you don't realise how proud I really am of him. And it's mad how I'm looking after my kids doing what he's doing now, putting food on the table with boxing. Because my dad always says you'll get a car and a house out of boxing. I want 200 fights, mate. You know, I'm getting better and fitter, and it's getting easier. This, you know what I mean? And the wins are going to come.
I mean, what was it like growing up and being around that circuit where your dad was coming in, week out, black eyes?
I used to hear him in bed screaming, broken ribs. My mum used to argue all the time. And you know, I was with my dad, I went to mum's boy, I was daddy's boy. We couldn't afford babysitters, so we used to spend all my life in the gyms all around Manchester. Nat Basso's gym right in the centre. I remember being there in the 80s. Nat Basso used to take me for sweets. The old school boxing gyms. I used to hate him, mate. I grew up in him. I hated boxing. And I remember my dad just sitting and I just come into it. I didn't even want to be in the gym. And Dad didn't try and force it on me. That's why when I was boxing, he said, "Oh, you're naturally gifted. I don't need to learn you anything." And my little brother used to teach him because my little brother was a good fighter. Do you know what I mean? It's just weird how he's passed now. Because from the age of 20 to 30, I was, doing the wrong things or whatever. But now I've got my family now and I'm knuckling down with my boxing. But he's not here now to see that. It's just a shame.
It must be such a hard thing to deal with. I know you and your dad are more like brothers than
we was father
and son. So
it must
be. I'm sorry for your loss.
It is sad, and it does. But I want to do it. I feel like at the age of turning pro, at the age of 30, you're not going to be a champion. I wanted to be a journeyman. I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to do it, and I want to have more fights than him. You know what I mean? I want to do that. I've got to feel this is going somewhere where I don't know. Because at the minute, I'm probably one of the busiest journeymen in the country at the minute. And don't get me wrong, my last 2 fights, one was at the York Hall, and the other one was where was it? In no, I've had 4 fights since then. But the other one was in where was it? Sheffield last week. And they could have gone my way. The kids have messaged me saying how much they respect me, and and there's only been a point in the fights. The win's coming soon.
At light heavyweight as well.
At light heavyweight, well, I'm 12 stone. I'll be 12 stone 7 tomorrow, and I'm taking off a pound or 2 every week. So I reckon in 2 months' time, I'll be 11 stone 12, and I'll be walking around at 12 stone. I'm in the gym every day, 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock, 12:30. I run every night. I have my kids all the time. I make the tea. All I do is box now, and train and look after my kids.
It seemed like you found a purpose for yourself in boxing, and it took that.
It won't let me go.
Took that sort of that bad experience in life to show you how important and what boxing could do for you, and structure and lifestyle.
Of course, 100%. At the end of the day, it's not no lie, to know that me and my dad went to prison together, and my dad got cancer in prison. My dad was a criminal, and I lost my dad to cancer, and I went the wrong way in life a little bit, and then I found my family. And I had 20 odd amateur fights, and I thought, you know what, it's time to get going now. I want to put food on the table for my kids. And I had an unlicensed fight, and I said to my girlfriend, I said, look, I must have been 10, 11 stone. And when I met her, obviously I was on the couch watching Coronation Street, eating the takeaways, so I got bigger. And I said, listen, I said to Mrs, look, if I win this fight, we might be able to turn pro. And I boxed this big, massive Jews head come down. I knocked him out in the first round. I don't know where them knockouts have gone. And then, but he's come from there basically. This time next year we should be nearly touching 80 fights. Year after that we should be touching 120 fights. I mean, I'm training with Joe Pennington now at Northside Gym.
I've seen this. Yeah.
Joe Pennington trains, as you know, Willie Warburton and Quinny. They're the best. Willie Warburton's the best journeyman in the country.
Without question.
He's the best, mate. And now
he never gets beat up, does he?
He doesn't let me miss the gym. Joe Pennington, he's changed my boxing career, my life. It's like a dad, mate. He rings me, I'm not in the gym where I am, get to the gym. Since I've gone to him, I've been winning round. I was getting beat up and down the country, mate, with a big fat belly. Yeah, but I was still going the distance. Now I'm in half decent shape, and I'm winning rounds, mate. And some of the fights that you could have given to me, and it's through Joe Pennington, mate. And he said to the other day, he said, this man here, this time next year, could be the best journeyman in the country. Might be.
Peter Buckley.
Yeah.
William Warburton.
Yeah.
Dez Gargano.
Yeah.
Where do you fit within these trilogy of tough men? Where do you see yourself ending up in the mix with this? I just want them guys to me are like world champions. You see, I'm not interested in all the other people. I know Christian
boxing.
Late as well.
I love Christian Late.
What a guy!
He's an animal. All them Christian Late. I speak to him on the phone. Yeah. I speak to Mitch Mitchell. He's a very good friend of mine. Me and Mitch, we work together. We box the same opponents. You know what I mean? Mitch is my mate. I speak to him all the time. What's the other kid called now? McAllister. Is he called McAllister? From Birmingham. He's a top fighter. I reckon in the country there's probably 5 top journeymen. And you can't count them, but there's probably 5. I'm not naming no names, and people are putting me with them. I'm not being big-headed, but I'm coming.
Imagine what you could do if you was at middleweight or super middleweight.
Well, this is it. Soon, this is what's going to happen. Soon, you see what happens though. When they start winning the fights, I'm not going to get no fights. Willie Warburton's going to knock the kid out the other week on Sky Sports. He's not had a fight since, right? But listen, what I want to do, what I want to do is be on Sky Sports and go and beat a kid who's 10-0. That'll mean more to me than go and beat some kid who's won one. You know what I mean? And that's what Willie does. That's where the respect is. When I've done that, I'll be a proud man. That's my world title. 100%.
You're back out in action tomorrow in Bournemouth. We've got a man at that show, so it'd be quite interesting to see how you get on tomorrow.
Yeah,
what,
cool.
what are you expecting in Bournemouth?
Tomorrow I'm looking to go there and get a win tomorrow. That's what I want to do. I want to go out there. It's the right opponent for me. You know, he's not got too much experience. I think he's come from a white collar background, so I feel fit and good now. I really want to get the win now and get my record looking a bit more better. I'm out next week again in Swindon, and then the week after that I'm out in York, which I'm always at York. Love me down there. I think I fight there at least 6 times a year.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And then the fights are there. They're booked in every week now, James.
Do you know what interesting? I follow your social media stuff, and when you saw you was fighting in Bournemouth, your first thing was I'll get to take the kids and the wife away and have a few days break. So you're basically fitting in a boxing match, basically in your holiday.
Basically, we're going to drive down tomorrow with the kids, with their iPads in the car. I'll be driving, and then we're going to get a book in our hotel, nice B&B on the front. So it's a holiday for the kids. I'll go to the weigh-in, go and have something to eat. I'll go and fight, hopefully get a win, and then I'll have the day at the seaside with the kids. Ice cream, fish and chips, a lot. And I'll come back to Manchester where the sun doesn't shine. Do you know what I mean? But man, I love boxing. The thing is, I train every day. I train hard twice a day. My weight's low, you know, so I'm getting in the ring and it's easy now.
Joe's got that experience as well with Warburton. Like,
yeah, he's got the experience, man. He cares. The thing is, he cares. Whereas I was training myself, I was in the gyms, and I was just, no one was really interested in me because I was a journeyman, and before I didn't have no desire and stuff. But it's not. I have got desire to fight every week. You know what? It's boxing's a business, mate. Without guys like us, and the thing is, journeymen are a dying breed, mate. And I'm not being funny, mate. In 5 years' time, it's probably going to be any, mate.
Bugs made an interesting point. He said that you guys run the sport. Without you guys, there's no sort of. There's no prospect, there's no progression, is there?
Bunce is a top guy. Bunce messaged me last year and he did like a thing in the Independent about fathers and son boxing, and I couldn't believe it. Steve Bunce give me a story about your dad, and it was Frank Bruno and his son Nigel Benn and his son Chris Eubank and his son, and Dez Gargano and me. Can you believe it? So it's the respect out there for my dad is unreal. But like I say, I had a fight in Southampton against I can't remember his name. He was a tough kid. He was a Commonwealth silver medalist. And Mitch Mitchell had the Irish kid. He was a Commonwealth gold medalist or something like that. Top Irish amateur. And Mitch couldn't do it, and it was unbelievable money. So I said, I'll take that fight. Mitch couldn't do it because he works. And I went, Mitch, will you have my fight, please, in Southampton? And I was waiting like for a day. And my missus like, please, I hope you get this fight in Ireland. And then Mitch went, right, I'll take your fight and you take my fight. That's it. So we swapped fights. He went down to the bottom of Southampton, had my fight. Don't know if it was easy or hard. I went to Ireland.
Who needs matchmakers when you've got Curtis and Mitch Mitchell to sort things out for you?
Well, I'm friends with all the matchmakers. You know, I love the matchmakers are like God to us. But listen, respect to the boxing board as well, because the boxing board people keep us journeymen in touch. You know, I've been in front of them a couple of times because they look after you, you know, because of my weight issues. And since they pulled them in, and they'll give me a bit of a kick up the arse, I have started being a lot better fighter, and it's helped me. And I reckon in 2 months' time, I might look like Chris Eubank Jr. But there you go, man. It doesn't matter, you know. I love boxing. I love everyone in it, and I hope that I have 200 fights. And because I love the sport. I'm doing my seconds license because one day I'll have my own gym, and all I want is journeymen. I don't want anyone else. I will run the blue corner. I'll keep boxing alive, and that's what I want to do.
Curtis, I hope you get and fulfil your dreams out of boxing, regardless of what it is. I hope you achieve happiness, mate.
Thank you very much. Respect to you and your family, mate. You're a top man, gentleman.
Cheers, Curtis.
Take care.